Kia ora and welcome back to the final CouchSide Sports Report of the year. Sorry about a day delayed, as you can probably tell. I don't sound 100%. Don't worry, I'm not Simon sick. It's just a weird chest cough. I don't know if it's a chest infection. I don't know if it's bronchitis. I don't know if it's just me being special.
But the one thing that I wanted to say was this guy committed to coming here for you.
Well, I went to work,
so better
I might
appreciate
as well do the podcast, you know. Of course.
It's the last one of the year,
It's
though.
the last one of the year. Happy holidays to everyone. Happy December for my Southern Hemisphere viewers. Happy summer for my Northern Hemisphere viewers.
Happy winter.
Happy winter. And for my people who live near the equator, it's the same season as always.
I was about to say, speaking of winter, I think it was a couple of videos ago, or one of our videos fairly recently, we actually got a comment from a guy in Switzerland saying that he watches and was listening from Switzerland. It's pretty much like, good on you guys, keep going. My guy from Switzerland, happy Christmas in a place I really want to spend Christmas one day because it looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. It looks amazing. I don't think I could afford anything in Switzerland, but it looks like a
no,
great
that's a
place
very
to
good point.
I did see a video of someone who I don't know if they lived there or
no, it is known to be very expensive,
or they were a tourist, but they went to the FIFA museum there because obviously FIFA's headquartered there.
Yes,
it looks like kind of a fun place to go. Check out all the memorabilia.
Well, hopefully we build this up enough one day to go at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Or just go anywhere, which isn't
here, which is in Auckland,
which is just Auckland. But
oh man,
we've got a little bit to talk about today. Obviously, not as much as we usually would in the middle of the year with no rugby.
Because we need a break. I need a break. You need a break. You need a break too.
We all need a break.
We all need an off season. Do you know what I mean?
We'll be back in January like nothing happened. You know?
Yeah, true.
So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, like we said, we've got a little bit of local to talk about, not too much, and a little bit of international, your standard international.
Yeah.
And a little bit of discussion. Obviously, we're a sucker for pro wrestling here, so we will be talking about a little bit of WWE. But before we get into it, Mr. Courtney, like we always say here, please follow us everywhere if you haven't already, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or if you're not followed or subscribed to us here on YouTube or Spotify. Those are the two places you can listen to the podcast.
Amen.
So, yeah. Please follow us. We have clips coming out all the time now. We have segments which come out on the YouTube. And just thank you for everyone who is interacting, who is taking part of the course.
Yeah, it's actually been awesome to see like the views, especially we're getting on like our shorts and our segments that we put up on YouTube. It's really, really awesome to see. So thank you for, I guess, I'm trying to think of the word. I forgot the word. Engaging. That's the word.
Thank
you for engaging with our stuff. You know, like we've said before, we're trying to create a community here, you know, that is talking about sport, but, you know, we can also agree to disagree.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Without being a prick.
Exactly. So, yeah, like that's why I was actually quite surprised. Although I think in our Lando Norris short about Lando Norris, I think we got called Brits. Don't ask me how that happened.
No, I mean ethnically sure, but if you call me English, I won't be happy.
Nah, but no, you know, if you've been engaging with us, it's been awesome. So, yeah, I hope you get a well-deserved earned break too.
And to the person who said I look like Michael B. Jordan, thank you. I don't know where you got that from.
You take that as a compliment.
The compliment. Even facial features wise, like I can't really see
take that.
You know, but thank you. I will. If I do see Michael B. Jordan in person one day, I will tell him a stranger on the internet said we look alike, and he'd probably not be very happy.
Hey, but this guy, I'll tell you what, this guy's been putting in the work in the gym. So
I haven't been in over a week. But
it doesn't matter. We're going to get there.
Thank you.
We're going to get there. But let's crack on this Aotearoa local sport. I'm going to crack into the basketball because that's what I've got for the first three. So we'll start off with the Tauihi Women's Basketball Aotearoa Grand Final. It was the second seed. Mainland Pokai versus the fourth seed Tauranga Fight. It was in Christchurch.
No Southern Classic.
No Southern Classic. But the Tauranga Fight put the whooping on the Mainland Pokai, winning 93-66 and going back to back. They won last year as well, so congratulations to them.
Second worst team in the league, thumping second best team in the league in the final.
Crazy, eh?
Only happens in a 5-team competition.
That's basketball, baby.
That's Tauihi women, Aotearoa women's basketball. I got the order mixed up. That's women's basketball and I'll tell you
and I'll be honest with you, I was actually at my auntie and uncle's for a little Christmas gathering.
Oh, yeah.
Watching this game, and man, it was quality basketball.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully our Northern Kahu can be a little bit better next year.
Oh, let's
but
hope so.
my cousin Cruz plays for the men's Tauranga Whai, so I'll take this as a win for myself.
Now you do. you hadn't been claiming them all season, and then they won the final.
I've also got somebody I know who's a good friend of people in my family on the Tauranga Whai, Taylor Dalton. Taylor, congrats if you ever watch this.
Congratulations.
So, but we'll move on to the ANBL from there. The Tauihi Women's Basketball will be back later on next year. But we'll move on to the ANBL, and this is how the round went. So it was the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix losing at home to the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, 89-81. It was actually a really good week for the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. Who needed it? Then you've got the Illawarra Hawks beating the Brisbane Bullets at home, 100-85. Then you've got the Adelaide 36ers, top of the table, beating Melbourne United, 114-105. I believe that was first, second as well. The Perth Wildcats, no good at home, losing to the Sydney Kings, 108-79. And then the Jack Jumpers, second win of the week. They get the win against the Cairns Taipans, 81-68. The Breakers do go down to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 92-80. The Kings get another win against Melbourne United, who lose again, 92-86. And then the Perth Wildcats get a little bit of revenge for their earlier week loss, and they beat the Brisbane Bullets 86-62. Now, the Breakers were in the top 6. Got a little table update this time.
Oh.
The Breakers were in the top 6. They fall to 7th to Tasmania, who had a great week. The Adelaide 36ers are at the top at the moment with a 14-3 record, and I'm just going to triple check that because I wrote that yesterday.
Brought to you by Tribe.
But there you go. Brought to you. Tribe, come on. We've got to get sponsored at some point. But yes, so Adelaide is at the top, 14-3. Then you've got Melbourne United second, and then you've got the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix third, the Sydney Kings fourth, the Perth Wildcats fifth, and like I said, the Tasmania Jack Jumpers sixth, with the New Zealand Breakers close in seventh. And then you've got the Hawks, Bullets, and Taipans in that order.
Not the Cairns Taipans.
Not the Cairns Taipans.
No.
But look, if the Breakers get on a run, they could easily make this top 6, which is so weird after what happened to start this year.
Yeah.
So I like the Breakers doing that. And then what actually happened in New Zealand basketball is they went and played in the Under-17 Oceania Cup, our men's and women's team. I just want to give a huge shout out to the men's and women's team at that tournament. The women do finish second to Australia. They lost in the final. But the men finished first in the final with a huge win over Australia, 82-62, after they lost to them earlier in the tournament, 93-87. In terms of All-Star 5, Sahara Katane, she got into the All-Star 5 in the women's comp for New Zealand. And then for the men's, we had two. We had Cole Horpoi, who Simon will know is the oldest 19-year-old looking ever, Carter Horpoi's brother.
I was going to say, why is the oldest looking 19-year-old playing in a U17 tournament? But I saw the hot boy. I was like,
that's his younger brother.
Right.
Who's a fantastic player. And then also there was, I'm going to make sure I get this pronunciation right, Hoani Ifopo, I think it's Togia. They got into the All-Star 5, and Hoani ended up winning the MVP. So it is great stuff from our youth teams. And I keep seeing this ad on ESPN where they're making this ad where somebody's like, are we in a golden age of Australian basketball? Yes, professionally. But youth-wise, we're coming.
Hey,
we're coming, man.
We've had, I think, a couple really good age grade. Yeah, pause. a couple of age grade international World Cups. It was the U7.
U17 World Cup and the latest Under-19 World Cup. We finished fourth in both.
That's right. So
and then we're doing this in Oceanias where we usually lose to Australia. So
this is a good sign. If we can beat Australia at this level, then who can we beat at the next U17 champs? Which I'm assuming it's next year.
Yes, I would presume it's next year.
And this would, I assume, be qualification for it, unless we have to go to an Asia Cup as well. But
not that I know of.
But no, yeah, that's all very promising. Always good for us to beat Australia in any team sport, honestly, which isn't rugby.
Yeah, true that.
So we'll take that, especially the age grade where in some cases they do smash us. So
that's a very good point. Yeah,
and it's speaking of one of those levels where they do happen to smash us all the time in international sport. It's football, and we've got the A-League. Unless you had anything else to add for the basketball before I...
Nope, I'm good. Let's go to the A-League, because I actually do have something to add to the A-League discussion.
Wow. Well,
This is what I do.
the women's Wellington Phoenix seemingly cannot score away from home or score at all as they go down 1-0 to the Perth Glory in Perth with a goal in the 75th minute.
They're losing so many close games.
It's
It
really
sucks.
annoying for them because they've strengthened really, really well. And
They have.
It hasn't. It hasn't showed itself on the table yet. There's still plenty
Yeah.
of the season to go, but you'd be starting to get a little bit worried if those results don't keep coming.
And I don't know if she would have started, but I know that Macy Fraser, 23-year-old who's going to play for the Phoenix, she did pretty much elect herself out of this season to focus on her mental health.
I don't know if it was the whole season, but it was a
which
significant part.
Macy, I do hope you're doing
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
whatever's happening. But you know, is because I know you know this, is that a big enough loss to where maybe she comes in and maybe we
don't
get
f-
these draws, or
No,
what do you think?
I don't think with the women's team there is like one player which is like the core of the team.
Okay.
In that way, I don't think there is like a single person. If you're going to put them in the team, they're going to magically be better
Yeah.
or be worse if you take them out.
Yeah, fair.
But for sure she would have made an impact if available.
Yeah.
I don't know if that results in more of those draws becoming or losses becoming
Yeah.
draws and wins. I'm
It hurts though. Trust it hurts.
I'm not the expert. But on the men's side of things, Auckland FC go away to Gosford. A game I could have watched, but I didn't for whatever reason. Won 2-1 over the Central Coast Mariners, thanks to the last goal, a great Van Persie-esque header from
Yes,
Sav Cosgrove,
I was about to say.
who is proven now that he doesn't just score tap-ins, although tap-ins are very valuable because if you score them, it's still a goal.
True.
Whoops. And so Auckland's still second on the table, but it's gone from bad to worse for the Wellington Phoenix. They were 3-0 down at one stage, but lost 3-1 to the Newcastle Jets at home. Currently 11th on the ladder out of 12 teams.
yeah.
Not firing. Injuries.
And this is where I'm going to take a pause for a second because I love this guy. I love the way he is, what he does, his demeanor. But is it time for Chief to go?
I think
The manager of the Wellington
think-
Phoenix is Giancarlo Italiano. Fantastic fucking name.
fantastic.
But they call him Chief. I
Chiefy.
really like him.
They call him Chiefy.
Chiefy, yeah. I really like him.
it's
I
hard.
really, really do. I think he did well with this team a couple of years ago. But you know, is it time?
It depends on the next couple of results, I think. I don't know if the Knicks are a team who would just drastically sack a manager in the middle of the season. I think they still have a lot of trust.
I hope they don't. I hope
think
they
they still
don't.
have a lot of trust in him from the
Yeah.
season in 23-24 where
Yeah.
they made it to the semi-finals. They were one of the best teams in the league. They almost bet the victory at the dying minutes at the
Yeah.
Cake Tin to make their first grand final.
Yes.
But last season they missed the playoffs. They were embarrassed by Auckland in that last derby.
Yeah.
This season they've lost both derbies already. Obviously close games on scoreline wise in the first one. The second one not as much. But also I think there are external factors. But also it does seem
Yeah.
like they're not doing the right thing. They're not playing as well as they can. They purposely like boxing themselves into playing a certain way.
I was about to say I did, and I know they were missing. I think they were missing both their starting centre backs for this game against the Jets. But even my guys who know football more than me at work, you know, he was showing me the highlights of the goals. And 2 of the 3 goals that the Phoenix scored, except for the one where I don't know what goalkeeper was doing. But 2 of those goals was normal, was like just basic in terms of professional football.
Yeah.
Basic communication issues.
Yeah.
Like if you're, and I know Phoenix, and correct me if I'm wrong, tend to play a high press.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a high press, your back four has got to communicate.
And it got exposed in the
Exactly.
first 30 seconds of the first derby.
Exactly. It got like you have to have people in the back there that are communicating. Like if you're going to press that high, your back line better be in sync. And
Yeah.
that is not what the Phoenix
No.
were, and it got exposed.
And unfortunately, that keeper has been one of the best informed keepers of the year so
Yes,
far.
yeah,
And
yeah, Josh has been great.
Olajemi, he's been excellent. So unfortunately, the backline's letting him down. Obviously, no Tim Payne. He's been out with, I think, a dislocated shoulder. Manjeka James not available for that game.
Yeah.
So it is annoying for them, obviously. They've had
Yeah.
a lot of injuries. Shige torn ACL earlier in the year, but there should be ways to still not lose 3-1 at home to the Jets. I know the Jets aren't a bad
Yeah.
team, but it's not looking good. I don't think recruitment's going to help it. And I don't think if getting rid of Chief is going to...
that's
make a drastic
so
change.
that's why I asked the question, because like if it's basic communication issues like that, yes, players in the field have got to execute, no doubt.
Maybe
but,
it is a tactical issue.
But yeah, I was about to say, you have to look at the coaches and be like,
Yeah.
guys, we've got to, like, you play your system,
Yeah.
but you've got to adjust as well.
Yeah, you have to adjust your system if it's not working.
Like you can't have your one of your centre backs going to what's it called, going to press up after a guy has turned and can see the field.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just leaving space behind for guys to go into. And in professional football, at least, I would believe, guys are going to take advantage of that.
Exactly.
And that's
They will.
exactly what Newcastle did on 2 of those 3 goals. Somebody presses way too late, pop the ball over the top. Guys, and most of the time, a forward's going to be faster than a centre back. So, a centre half, whatever you want to call it.
Centre back.
Yeah. So, like there's, it's going. You can't. Yeah, you have to adjust.
Oh yeah.
So I think you have to look to Chiefy in that way. But I think you're right. I love him. I love his demeanor. I love the way he manages.
He's quite a funny guy when he talks.
Yes. I hope like we've said before.
Yeah.
I want Auckland FC Phoenix grand final.
That'd be great.
And I do think the Phoenix have the talent to be able to make the playoffs fairly consistently.
I think they do.
But something, whether it's tactically, maybe it's even above that.
It might be.
It's something got to happen there. But something's got to be adjusted. I won't say changed completely.
No.
But it's got to be adjusted.
Mate, you missed off the most important local football result of last week.
And what was that?
That was our five-a-side team and someone scoring from open play. Congratulations, Mr. Dylan Courtney. Our last game of the season for our five-a-side league. We still lost, but Dylan etched himself an open play goal. Did I assist it? I don't know. I was right there when it happened.
I think it was a deflection off the keeper, actually.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think it was.
You got there. And
so shout out to the keeper for this.
I jumped on you and I winded myself briefly. I scored as well, which was great.
There you did.
It was a good game for CouchSide,
It was. It was.
great.
I actually, footballers, and I've played. I counted this at some point. I've played in my life 15 different sports competitively.
Yeah.
Because to get out of class, got to play sport. So,
Or you could be smart, but who's got time for that?
Yeah, right. So but football is something I never played competitively, and it's actually been really fun to play this five-a-side.
And you're actually you're probably better than me, honestly. You can actually track back and get out of situations.
Who's saying you don't track back?
Oh, well, I try to. I do.
We should probably track back more, to be honest. And we're about to actually play 7-a-side, so we'll have to learn to track back there.
Yeah. Unless I can just get away with being a poacher.
No, don't worry. It'll be me and Gabe in the midfield. I'll say to Gabe, if we get the ball, you go and support like an attacking midfielder. I'll stay back defensively, help out our guys at the back, and then it's you two at the top, and you're all good.
Call you Ndidi. Or Kante.
Bro, call me. Yeah, that's right.
Kante.
I protect my centre backs, baby. I protect my centre backs.
Sound like Will Campbell.
Call me, but yeah. Oh, actually, we'll talk about the NFL. But Drake May's wife's cookies look delicious. Anyway,
out of context.
That is quite out of context. She bakes actual cookies and they look fantastic.
On TikTok.
Let's go into the cricket,
series.
mate. Let's go into the cricket.
Not a lot to talk about. Is you've got a nice brief little thing here. This one's for you, Liam. Hope the bush was good.
Liam, hello.
Oh, yeah. He thinks he's funny. The Black Caps took on the West Indies at the Basin Reserve in the second test. The Black Caps did take the win this time around by 9 wickets. Blair Tickner took 4 wickets in the first innings, and Jacob Duffy took 5 in the second.
Yes.
And that's all what Dylan's written for me as we immediately move over to the international sports.
All right, let me throw the pillow away because there's no more cricket.
Oi, in the Premier League, match week 16, Chelsea kick us off with a 2-0 win at home to Everton. Liverpool finally get get a win for once. It's 2-0 over Brighton.
Mo Salah played after, I'll be honest, I did not agree with Mo Salah coming out and said what he was saying.
I didn't pay too much attention to it because AFCON's around the corner anyway, so he's going to be gone for the next couple of weeks.
But he played very well in this game, so I think there'll be maybe he comes back from AFCON, plays really well, and ends up getting some more starting minutes instead of just sitting on the bench. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, Saudi contract possibly on the horizon.
Yeah, true.
Burnley at home do go down 2-3 to Fulham. Arsenal get a narrow 2-1 win at home against Wolves. Sunderland, great derby result, great atmosphere.
Voltemada will be kicking himself
Yep.
for this one.
And all the Sunderland fans and all that general fans on TikTok were commenting, "Oh, why didn't you start Isak and Ikatike in this game?" Because they were both, Isak being a former Newcastle player, and Ikatike supposedly
Yes.
would have joined Newcastle if he didn't go to Liverpool.
Yes, yeah.
Which was quite funny. And there's just one Newcastle fan account who spent the whole preseason basically saying, "Oh, Sunderland spent £30 million on one player, all they've had to finish 19th. Like, oh, Sunderland are going to have the worst ever Premier League win ever."
Sunderland genuinely have a chance to compete in Europe
They
next
do.
year.
Newcastle were behind them, and they won't be happy because Sunderland have been excellent at home. The home advantage has really been.
This is why, yes, you can talk, you can have your derbies and stuff, but man, this not being respectful, that comes to bite you in the butt, man.
And I
It
think,
comes to bite you in the
I think a
butt.
lot of Newcastle fans since the takeover have gotten really ahead of themselves and kind of
Yeah.
positioning themselves like they have been a Big Six club for so long.
Well, let me ask you then, with that being said, do you genuinely think, because we are at that point in the Premier League, or Christmas, everybody at Christmas looks like this is probably going to how the table's going to finish. The majority of the time.
Yeah.
But do you think Sunderland genuinely will finish in a European spot?
I think they're top 10 because you have to take into account.
Wait, let's. I know we're going to do this at the end, but I'm going to check the table.
I'll quickly go over the other results quickly then. Nottingham Forest probably putting another stake in the coffin of Thomas Frank, 3-0 win over Spurs. Here I'll be looking at him, unfortunately. West Ham, unfortunately, go down to Aston Villa at home 2-3. Man City, comfortable 3-0 win over Crystal Palace. And Brentford at Leeds play out a 1-1 draw. And then probably the game of the round, Manchester United and Bournemouth play out a 4-4 draw at Old Trafford. Man, you did go up 4-3 with 10 minutes to go. Then Bournemouth brought it back to a Junior Krupi goal. A great game for Bournemouth, obviously a point on the road at Old Trafford. But table update, Mr. Courtney. And while I'm also going to get the table up on my phone.
So at the moment, Arsenal first over Man City by 2 points.
Only 2 now.
Aston Villa, 33 points. They're a point behind Man City and 3 points behind Arsenal. They did. Chelsea's in fourth with 28, and then Crystal Palace.
Forget Crystal Palace are in and around
26. So they're front runners to play European football now.
Well, we'll see if they can hold on.
So Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Sunderland in that order, fifth to eighth, are all on 26 points, but Crystal Palace are fifth on goal difference.
Very tight there.
Then you've got it's tight anyway. You've got Everton with 24 points, 9th, Brighton with 23 points, 10th, Spurs 11th with 22, Newcastle with 22, 12th, Bournemouth 21 and 13th. Then you've got Fulham, who I told you would still be there. 20th.
It's only been 16 games, man.
Still. And then Brentford, 15th, 20th. And then you get Notts Forest, 18 points, they're 16th. Leeds, 17th. And then West Ham, 3 points behind that in the relegation zone. Burnley, 3 points behind West Ham. And then Wolves still have 2 points.
No wins. Still no wins.
So the question goes back.
Yes.
Do Sunderland genuinely do you genuinely think they will make European football? So that if I'm not mistaken, they'd have to be at least 7th. That would be
7th
Conference
or
League.
8th, depending. Because you have to take into account Man United and Liverpool probably aren't going to finish below them. They'll probably overtake Crystal Palace, in my opinion.
You would think.
And then you have teams below them, Newcastle and Spurs could always regain the form and go back up. And also, Brighton and Everton aren't no slouches. There's a reason that they're only just behind them as well.
True, very true.
But I don't think, like, Aston Villa have gone from strength to strength over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if they'll finish third.
Unai Emery has built a squad
I
in
think
Aston Villa.
Chelsea will probably take a little bit of bite out of them. Arsenal are obviously they need to get every result off the ground because Man City are now already only 2 points behind them. I thought they were well behind them just a while ago.
Nope.
But no, they're not. Yeah, Sunderland definitely could. Crystal Palace definitely could, but it depends on how they... I know Sunderland going to have a lot of players out with the African Cup of Nations, so that might affect their on-field performance. But I think they could easily finish in the top 10, but they'll be safely away from relegation. And if they're lucky, they will be ahead of Newcastle at the end of the season. In terms of top goal scorers, there's been 16 games played. Erling Haaland already on 17 goals. Could you write it? Igor Thiago of Brentford on 11.
Yeah.
And Hugo Ekitike is third on 7 goals, but he is equal with a number of other players. Danny Welbeck of Brighton, still doing it. Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth. Jean-Philippe Mateta of Crystal Palace. And believe it or not, Phil Foden.
Fair enough.
And Richarlison and Brian Mbeumo just behind him on 6 goals each. And a number of players of note on 5 goals. I'll quickly read them. Junior Krupi, Nick Waltmaid, Zian Fleming of Burnley, Pedro Neto, Morgan Rogers, Bruno Guimaraes, Jared Bowen, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's now at Leeds, Harry Wilson, and Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. So, okay, just to end off the Sunderland conversation, I genuinely hope both Crystal Palace and Sunderland make European football.
That'd be great.
But you are right. I think it'll be a tough task. I do think they finish top 10.
There's still more than half the season to go.
That is very true. I think, they probably have to have a little bit of luck go their way.
Yeah.
But they have been fantastic, especially for a team that's just been
promoted,
brought up.
And
the money they spent, they clearly spent wisely.
And in an era where promoted teams in the last 2 seasons have spent just as much but have been relegated, the past 2 years for the top 3 promoted teams go straight back down. It is refreshing to see Sunderland, and it's also refreshing to see Leeds still out of the relegation zone for now, and also Burnley, obviously 10th, but they're 8 points clear of last.
Yeah.
Although I knew this Wolves team was going to be
they've got 10
great.
points. They're 19th, and
but
no, it's very that's very true.
It's all very interesting. And it will be a very busy period for the Premier League coming into the holiday season. Games on in and around Boxing Day, games on New Year's. So there'll probably be late night English games, early morning games here. So just turn on Sky Sport.
Big
the morning when you're at home, you might be able to find some English football.
True that.
As we move on to the Dylan Sport, the NBA weekly recap.
Yes,
and the Thunder, they're still going to go 69-13 at least. But they have lost their second game of the season, Dylan. Care to explain?
They have. Now, actually, it does count. So the Thunder's win streak is over. They lost to the Spurs, who had Victor Wembanyama returning after injury, and in 25 minutes scored 22 points. I think ended up with like 9 rebounds and 5 assists or something like that.
Before this game, he said, he thinks he's the best player in the league, and he proved it. In the very next game, that he can hang with them.
I was about to say, he can prove it. I think he's got to calm down a little bit, but you got to have confidence.
Well, you do.
Know what I mean?
And I don't think it came across as being cocky. I think it was just him, it was just being confident in himself.
Yeah, exactly.
But if someone like, I don't know, what's a player who would say that about himself and be serious? But
Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
Who's playing in Europe?
Well, Pat Bev was the guy who had that
He's the one who really hardcore celebrated when the Timberwolves won the play-in.
What was the meme and his about when he found out about the Karl Malone
stuff
on a call and his face just drops.
He also said, and I think it was either 2021 or I think it was either 2021 or 2022, when he said to Steph Curry, the next 5 years are mine. Steph Curry wins a title the next 2 years, and Pat Bev's out of the NBA. So
playing in Israel as well. So
so there you go. But in saying that, the Thunder's win streak is over. They lost to the Spurs in the semi-final of the NBA Cup, 111-109, and the Knicks beat the Magic in the other semi of the NBA Cup the last week. So it is a Spurs-Knicks NBA Cup final. That will be, I was actually trying to double check that. I don't know exactly when that is, but I do believe it is the end of, either the start of next week or the end of this week.
Cool. That'll be a great game. To potentially some, obviously it's not the NBA Finals, but some long-awaited silverware for the Knicks. And, well, the Spurs, they haven't won a title without Timmy D in a while, so...
True. I think it'll be a great final. It'll be a great final.
Could be the first real thing Wemby wins, or the next with Jalen Brunson. And
there you go. Funnily enough, scratch that. The NBA Cup final is 2:30 New Zealand time when this podcast comes out.
Oh, Wednesday.
So it is Wednesday.
Well, this might actually come out on Tuesday night. It depends.
Who knows?
It probably will.
But it is Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. New Zealand time. But outside of that NBA Cup stuff, for my Warriors, because I'm going to mention them, Steph Curry did return, dropped 39 points against an Anthony Edwards-less T-Wolves and still lost. And then also, it was yesterday, Steph Curry dropped 48 points against the Blazers and still lost.
God.
So I hope our young core can figure it out.
What's Comebucket up to?
He's sitting on the bench. I think he's going to get traded.
Yeah, and I think,
which sucks because I think he's got really
who do we
good
think he's
potential.
getting traded for? LaMelo. I hear a lot of LaMelo chatter, but I know you.
We need
want
front court help.
Yeah.
You know we need it. So, like, I think he's... I've heard... So this one's been thrown around for pretty much for the Kings. So we'd seen Kuminga over there and we'd bring Domantas Sabonis to the Warriors. I don't mind that shout. Offensively, I don't mind that shout. So... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Look, maybe he is injured, but he doesn't look injured. He is fully suited up every game. He's just not playing and sitting on the bench. So, which is sad. It's really sad because we signed him to an extension. But hey, there you go. I'm going to double check this as well, but. The Pistons are still on top of the East, although the Raptors, who lost to the Celtics last week, your Raptors, 121 to 113.
It was nice while it lasted, you know. I didn't think we're going to hold it. I know we're a good young team, and we could be very good in the future.
Yeah.
But
you absolutely will.
Yeah.
And also the Grady Dick memes are fucking.
You sent me one earlier,
bro. So bad.
I always like sharing the photo on my Discord with my mates of when him and Anthony Black did the jersey swap.
Yeah.
It's great. It's the greatest.
Go search that. Was quite
it's
funny.
the greatest image in NBA history.
Oh man! But I'll go. I've got the tables here. Funnily enough, now I think the Raptors did actually win a game to start this week. They're back to third. So the Pistons.
Lied.
Yeah. So the Pistons are at the top. The Knicks second. Raptors third. The Celtics. Shout out to the Celtics without Jason Tatum.
Rebounded.
Fourth. Magic fifth. 76ers sixth. Joel Embiid just had a massive game. So we'll see how that goes. If he can play like that, I think the Sixers could actually make the top four. Hawks 7th and Cavs 8th, with the Heat and Bucks 9th and 10th. How the Bucks are still 10th blows my mind because they just got blown out by the Nets.
And the Giannis, where does he go? When does he go? We'll find out eventually.
In terms of the West, Thunder still at the top, Nuggets 2nd, Spurs 3rd, Lakers 4th, Rockets 5th, Timberwolves 6th, Suns 7th, my Warriors are 8th, the Grizzlies are 9th, and then the Jazz are 10th. So... yeah, still, still early days. Still a lot of games to go. I hope my Warriors can, get on a little winning streak. But we will see what happens.
Annoyingly, you've put here that currently, in predicted draft marks, the Thunder will get the 3rd pick and will take AJ DeBanter, who is, I think...
he's the best American prospect right now.
He's been considered the best prospect in the draft, but obviously the other teams, they have more reason to pick a Darren Peterson or a Kanan Boozer over a DeBanter.
Cameron Boozer.
Cameron Boozer.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane that AJ DeBanter could go to the Thunder because...
if this happens, bro...
please correct me. Jalen Williams plays shooting guard or small
So
Jalen
Williams more plays... It's weird because so they play him at small forward, but I would say he has playing him at shooting guard's a little bit different. But pretty much what they do is when he's not injured, they'll go Hartenstein at center. They'll play who's 6'11". They'll play Chet Holmgren at power forward, who's 7'1". Then you'll have Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, and then have Gilgeous Alexander.
Picking DeBanter.
DeBanter literally looks like he has the athleticism to play shooting guard.
Okay.
And he's 6'9".
Okay. If he can play shooting guard, then sure. Because I only really saw him as a forward. I was thinking maybe Darren Peterson makes more sense here. Maybe,
But also, the Thunder have time. Like, if they get that pick, they have time to develop. Just crazy.
They have heaps of time. They could even trade the pick if they wanted to.
They probably could. They could trade the 2 picks because they own the Clippers and the Jazz.
Yeah, that's
disgusting.
But I did see a post. I've seen this post being circulated the last couple of days, and it's got a photo of Tyrese Halliburton in a Kings jersey and Jalen Brunson in a Mavericks jersey.
Yes.
And it's basically, I forgot exactly how it was worded. It's like, this is the current situation that Jared McCain of the Sixers is in. Basically alluding that he is on. He's young at a team, but those guys, once they got traded to their current teams, exploded into all-NBA players.
They did.
They're suggesting that is...
McCain could do that.
That would be the same with McCain. Obviously, hard to pick where he would land.
I think also the difference is when those guys were traded, they weren't coming off a major knee injury.
And McCain's only really... This is his second season. Really, he still hasn't played a full season. go forward a couple of years, that could really be the case because it's going to be hard for him to get in front of Maxi and Edgecombe.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And you can't play all three of them at once. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition.
That's why I say to you, if the 76ers can figure this all out, I think they quietly have a top 4 team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They could absolutely compete in the East. But we'll move on to the NFL. Get these results through.
Oh yeah, a couple of big games, a couple of big moments.
Yeah, man.
And one of these probably one of the biggest feel-good NFL stories of the season so far. But we'll start off with Thursday night, Friday afternoon football. The Falcons' narrow win over the Bucks. The Bucks kind of going down a bit as the season goes on. They were.
I'm going to check this because I did put a table update here. I think the Panthers are at the top of the NFC.
They are
South.
Oh no, the Panthers. Oh, jeez, I knew the Jaguars were the top of their division.
No, that's the AFC South.
AFC South.
Yeah,
the Panthers got the two Heisman winning quarterbacks, and both of them, Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young. I'm going to double check this as well, but keep going. So the Commanders get a much needed win after getting absolutely destroyed last week. Beat the Giants 29-21. The Eagles a much needed big win over the Raiders 31-0. The Bears also get 31 points on the board against the Browns.
We're just going to pause at this game for a second because I have to admit something real quick.
You're going to admit something?
I am. So for the last, I would say 5 years, the best pass rusher in the NFL has been my guy TJ Watt of the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
Myles Garrett in this game with what game are we into, like 14, 15 of 18, has 21.5 sacks. The record for a season is 22.5,
and he's doing it on this Browns team.
That is shocker offensively. So
it's an all-time season, probably one of the best defensive, if not the best defensive season.
This season, I'm just going to say, this season, I do have to admit, Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in the league.
Yeah.
And I hate admitting that as a guy he's in my division. We play them in 2 weeks.
Good luck.
Which watch him break the record against us.
It'd be funny.
Yeah, man, he's been
exceptional.
On a smoker. He's a fantastic player anyway, but he's been on a smoker this year.
If only he got traded and didn't stay.
Well, here's the thing. He signed, like I said in the previous episode, he signed a massive extension. That's kind of on him. Anyway, carry on.
The Ravens, your rivals, beat the Bengals 24-0.
Dang.
The Texans. The Texans get a big win over the Cardinals, 40-20.
They do.
Massive comeback for the Buffalo Bills after being 21-0 down to the New England Patriots. Get the win, 35-31.
Yep. Patriots still on top of the AFC East, though.
And speaking of the Patriots, their quarterback is Drake May, who we mentioned earlier, whose girlfriend posts cooking videos on TikTok.
It's his wife.
His wife, sorry.
Posts baking videos on TikTok, and the cookies she bakes look mean.
They look brilliant. After that, the Jags, huge win over the Jets, 48-20, and one of probably a turning point for NFL history.
Could be.
The LA Chargers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 16-13, knocking them out of the playoffs already for the first time since 2014. No Chiefs in the playoffs. No potential Chiefs Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes, I don't really think he limped off because he tore his ACL.
He did limp off.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Cool. So I don't know what the injury time frame on that is. Will he be back at all next season? Who knows? Will he risk it? Will the Chiefs risk it? But it puts the Chiefs in a really big position because, honestly, I'm much of a casual. The only big 2 Chiefs players I could name, or 3 Chiefs players I could name for you, were Mahomes, Kelsey, and whatever top wide receiver they had at the time. And I know there's much more to the team.
I'm going to give Chiefs credit here. The Chiefs have actually built a pretty damn good defense.
Yes.
Chris Jones, who's their defensive tackle,
I know about Chris Jones.
is one of the best tackles in the league. They have a great linebacking core there, led by Nick Bolton. And their secondary, their cornerbacks and safeties aren't too bad either. So if they want to win games to end the season and next year, they'll probably have to rely quite a bit on that defense. But look, the Chiefs have proven that they can build a championship-winning team.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it past them improving next year, even if Kelsey continues somewhat of a decline. So
he is getting on a bit. He's not the youngest anymore, and obviously he's going to be a married man soon. So he's got other things to worry about in life.
Yeah.
But with the Chiefs not making the playoffs, it means they will get a pretty favorable draft pick. I don't know if they'll be able to draft out I'm guessing I look at someone offensively.
I think that'd be
Not a quarterback,
I think
but-
that they will absolutely have to look at that offensive line.
Unless
That
there's
offensive line has been the reason why they've lost the Super Bowls that they've lost.
and I don't think with
And games.
the current quarterbacks coming into the next draft, I don't think they'd take a punt on any of them. We
and
haven't
they
written down,
shouldn't.
but we'll
And they
talk about college football after we do the NFL.
Yes.
It's not written here, but we'll talk about
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Yeah.
But it's going to be really interesting for the Chiefs. I think a lot of people are blowing a sigh of relief that they can't be in the playoffs and they can't.
Yeah,
so,
true.
because the Chiefs have been a dynasty because
Yes.
of sorts. I guess they didn't win all their titles in a row, but they still won 3. They won
Yeah.
back to back. They were kind of
Patriots didn't win all their titles in a row.
no,
So
they were
not all of them. Some of them. Not all
although
of them.
someone did say, but I don't know what year Mahomes is in, but in the same year that he's torn his ACL, Tom Brady did the same, and they both did it against the Chargers.
Yes, that's true. So Tom Brady did, I believe, tore his ACL the year after they went undefeated but lost the Super Bowl to the Giants.
Yeah.
So that was 2008.
So I think,
and then they put a seventh round pick, Matt Castle, in, and they still made the playoffs.
yeah, Matt Castle, what a name.
Yeah.
But no, maybe we don't see Mahomes come back until the 30s and win 4 more titles or however.
Who
long he
knows,
won.
man? Who
It'll be really
knows?
interesting. It won't be with Travis Kelce. He will be way retired by then.
Yeah, you'd think.
But the Seattle Seahawks get the win over the Colts 18-16. But this was a game
Yeah,
for
man.
other reasons after
Yeah.
their main quarterback of the year, Daniel Jones, was injured, and all the other
Tore his
quarterbacks
Achilles.
seemed to be injured, including Anthony Richardson. They brought back into the practice squad 44-year-old, almost retired from 5 years, almost eligible for this. Oh, I think he was being eligible for the Hall of Fame.
He foregoed his
I think he was on the
his
short list
eligibility.
for this year.
Wouldn't be surprised. He is. I think he's
the
a Hall
one
of
and only
Famer too.
Philip Rivers was
Mr.
a
10 Kids himself, Philip Rivers.
10 kids grandfather. Philip
Yes.
Rivers was a Los Angeles Chargers quarterback. Was actually drafted by the Giants and then traded with the Eli Manning.
because he didn't want to go to the what's it called? Didn't want to go to the Chargers.
Don't blame him. And he had a great career. Didn't win a Super Bowl. Spent his last year at the Colts in 2020. Retired.
Yep.
And it's now been brought back. And he got a touchdown pass. He didn't get
did.
the win, but he didn't. From
They
what I
got
saw,
close though.
He didn't look too out of place at 44.
Yeah, they went up 16-15 with under a minute to go
Also, the only thing, other thing I've
and
noticed
lost.
with this is that Cam Ward was very upset that he didn't get the call up for the Colts. They basically threw a tantrum on air.
No, you mean Cam Newton?
Not Cam Ward, sorry, Cam
Yeah,
Newton.
Cam Newton.
I was like,
Yeah,
gee,
calm down, mate.
I wonder why they didn't give the guy through a tantrum a contract.
Exactly.
I don't know. Also, his
That's-
hat game
who
has
cares?
to be studied.
Very true.
The Broncos, no, that's not the next game. The 49ers beat the Titans 37-24.
They're on a 4-game win streak at the moment.
The Broncos take on the Packers. I didn't realize it was this recent, but the Broncos have clinched the first AFC playoff spot.
Yep.
This game actually technically more than one score. I don't know. It's still another one-score game. Technically, it's by 8 points.
Really?
But Micah Parsons, a two-point touchdown.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons has torn his ACL. Not great for them.
I'm going to double check that score there. I'm pretty sure when it came up, it was 34-26.
Yeah, but it's 8-point win, so it can be a one-score game.
Yeah,
so,
true. Yeah, I'm just double checking.
The Saints beat the Panthers 20-17. The Rams beat the Lions 41-34. The Rams, the first team to clinch an NFC playoff spot. Could they win another Super Bowl?
Yeah.
The Cowboys lose to the one and only Minnesota Vikings.
And JJ McCarthy, the last 2 games, has
Not a
been
bust.
slinging the rock.
He is no Jamarcus Russell. That's in joke with my mate who tried to claim he was just as bad as Jamarcus Russell. I'm
Yeah,
like, no.
calm down.
I told the DVD story last week.
I did say this to you though, and it came up when I was watching the Monday night / Tuesday afternoon game today. We're as of recording. You know that we were that they put a stat up of JJ McCarthy's throws when he's got over 2.5 seconds to throw it, which most quarterbacks in the NFL you don't. That's the amount of time. So, and he's really, really accurate when he has more than 2.5 seconds. The only problem is the Cowboys are a shocker defense.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that time anyway. So can JJ McCarthy develop into that, he can still make the quick, accurate throw, that sort of thing. That is yet to see. But I know people were making memes of him and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, he's young, man.
He's shutting them up a bit more now.
Little bit.
And your not Philadelphia, sorry. Pittsburgh
bro.
Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Dolphins.
28-15.
Comfortable. Don't need to do a rant today.
No. What I will say is,
Keep it up.
Yeah, keep it up, I guess. We are at the top of the division at 8-6. Look, it was a good win, and both sides of the ball played really well. The Dolphins as well have been on a 4-game winning streak, and we beat them pretty comfortably. There was great signs, but I don't think they were signs of, we eventually win the division and win a playoff game. Let's say I wouldn't go that far yet, and I still think there's stuff to work on coaching wise. But we did look great in this game against the Dolphins team. We probably should have beaten anyway, but it did look comfortable. So I'm happy with that. Do you want to go before we get into the last part? Do you want to talk about the go table update?
Well, we've got the table update. I can't exactly.
Almost forgot about that.
So in the AFC, the Patriots, as we know, 11-3 in the AFC East. The Bills are just behind them on 10-4, so they will be in the playoffs. The Dolphins 6-8, and the Jets 3-11. I guess are all out of contention. Probably they play 17 games, so they've got 3 games to go, roughly.
So I would say pretty much the Dolphins, Chiefs, Bengals, I know for sure. Jets, Browns, Raiders, and Titans are probably out of playoff contention now.
Great. In the AFC North, your Steelers 8-6, the Ravens 7-7. They're still in the hunt. The Bengals are out at 4-10, unfortunately, and the Browns 3-11. The AFC South, the Jaguars 10-4, but the Texans and the Colts 9-5 and 8-6 respectively. They'll both.
That's a pretty tough division.
That's very tough. They'll both be trying to get there. The Cam Ward Titans, Cam Ward who famously said, "We ass," 2-12. The AFC West, the Broncos, they've clinched their spot already, 12-2. The Chargers are still 10-4. Chiefs, as we know, 6-8 are out, and the Raiders are 2-12. And in the NFC East, your reigning Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, are 9-5 comfortably. We'll take that as the Cowboys are 6-7, the Commanders are 4-10, and the Giants are 2-12.
Yep.
The Bears still on top of the NFC North for now, 10-4. The Packers are 9-4-1. The Lions are 8-6, still have a chance. The Vikings are probably out at 6-8, but they could finish the season 500.
Steelers actually play the Lions at Detroit next week.
Game.
That's a big game. Both teams are 8-6. The Steelers will want to win it to almost continue to solidify that top spot in the AFC North, but it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one because I know that Lions team is going to come out firing. So we'll see what happens.
The NFC South, the Bucks and the Panthers are both 7-7.
Yes.
So keep an eye on that. The Falcons are 5-9 and the Saints are 4-10. Not as bad as I thought they were. The NFC West, the Rams have clinched that spot 11-3, but the Seahawks are also 11-3.
Yes.
The 49ers are 10-4, so that's a very tough conference division. And the Cardinals are 3-11. Didn't realize the Cardinals are worse off than the Saints.
Yes.
So that is all leading up to a very interesting playoff picture. But moving into a different football playoff, we have college football and we have a Heisman winner.
We do.
Mendoza from Indiana.
Fernando Mendoza.
One of the biggest crybabies I've ever seen. And Diego Pavia complaining he didn't win.
I will say, I'll give him credit for not for that, but the way he's played. Diego Pavia taking that Vanderbilt team, which Vanderbilt is known for being like the bottom of the SEC, which is a great conference anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But the bottom of the SEC, to take them to 10 wins is pretty tough.
But getting Indiana to number 1 and winning that conference as well.
That's pretty bloody
That's
good.
huge. But
do you want to go through? Do you actually want to go through the college football playoff games? That
I've got them right here. So, just for context, with college football, they have the college football playoff, which determines the national champion, and those are played with bowl games. Bowl games are end of season games. They're sponsored by someone random. They're usually held in the same place. But there are bowl games not involved in the playoffs, and I'm not going to go over every single bowl game in the world.
There's
but there are some great names and some great teams. You have the Gasparilla Bowl, which will be between North Carolina State and Memphis this Saturday at 8:30. You have the Salute to the Veterans Bowl, which is Jackson's. I think it's Jacksonville State against Troy.
It's not Jackson State.
Oh no, Jax JAX State.
Oh, that's Jacksonville. Yeah,
Jacksonville. And you had the Washington and Boise State playing the LA Bowl on the weekend.
Yes.
But you got the Cure Bowl. You got the Lending Tree Bowl, the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
They're so crack up, man.
You got a lot, but I don't know. These ones are all bowl games, I believe, but I don't know exactly what bowl they are. Or maybe these aren't because they're still early on.
Technically, for the college football playoffs, so there's 12 teams and they play in a tournament, pretty much. I know that I'm not sure if they count them as bowl games, but I know the first games that are played, first two games, are home games for the higher seed.
So maybe those aren't bowl games, but they do turn into bowl games.
They pretty much still call them bowl games.
The final four, when you get to the semifinals,
they call them bowl games, but now they pretty much call them the college football semis.
I'm gonna quickly. If Google,
but I can name I think I can name the college football games off the top of my head.
I've got the actual.
I think we actually said them last week in our episode.
We did, but I'm going to list exactly when they are, because they are very, very soon.
Yes,
so if
they
I
are
just
very
have
soon.
a look at no, that is the championship.
But shout out to all the guys that got nominated for Heisman. Fernando Mendoza, congratulations to you.
Congrats to him.
Let's see what Indiana does, man.
I'd love them to win it, honestly, because you don't see Indiana.
No, not in basketball. Yes, in football, hell no.
No, not at all. So these games aren't bowl games specifically. I have that confirmation. We have the first game Saturday at 2 p.m. This is going to be a banger. Oklahoma, Alabama.
That's going to be tough.
Sunday at 6 a.m. Texas A&M versus Miami.
Another banger.
Sunday 9:30. Ole Miss versus Tulane.
Less of a banger, but we'll see what Tulane can come up with.
Sunday at 1:30, Oregon versus James Madison.
We'll see what James Madison can come up with.
There's more bowl games happening all through next week. I'm going to name off a couple of the funny ones because there are so many. You have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl between Utah State and Washington State, Tuesday at 8 a.m. You have the Boca Raton Bowl between Louisville and Toledo, Wednesday at 8 a.m. Fuck, I'm probably going to read most of these. The New Orleans Bowl, Southern Miss versus Western Kentucky. The Frisco Bowl, Ohio versus UNLV. The Hawaii Bowl, believe it or not, Hawaii's playing in it.
Oh, is that right?
Against California. You have the, what is some funny, this not funny, but the First Responder Bowl between, I believe it's the University of San Antonio and FIU.
Yes.
Then you have...
That'll be Florida International University.
You have the Military Bowl between Eastern Carolina and Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You have the Pinstripe Bowl, Clemson, Penn State, and any other year that'd be like a national championship.
Yes, it
game.
would. Clemson was supposed to be really good this year and did not play very well at all.
You have a ranked matchup in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which famously they have a Pop-Tart mascot.
Yes,
and they put them
do.
in a toaster, and an edible Pop-Tart comes out, and the winning team eats it.
Yes.
America! BYU, who are 12th in the nation, hosts Georgia Tech, who are 22nd. BYU would have been one of the first teams out of the playoffs, just missing out.
Yeah.
The New Mexico Bowl, no New Mexico. It's San Diego State versus North Texas, who are 25th. The Gator Bowl, Virginia versus Missouri.
Actually, shout out to North Texas, who are named after, the team is named after probably the greatest Pittsburgh Steeler of all time, Mean Joe Green. The North Texas, I'm pretty sure it's the North Texas team, are now called the Mean Green.
The Mean Green.
Yeah.
What a name. You have the Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl. That's actually a big matchup. It's Texas, Michigan.
Yes.
13
huge.
versus 18.
Yes.
And we know the bowls which will be involved in the next round of the college football playoffs. These are all held on in and around New Year's Day. Either one's on New Year's Day for us at 1:30, the others are on the 2nd at 6, 10, and 2. You have the Cotton Bowl Classic, which will be held at the the Cotton Bowl doesn't exist anymore, but that's at AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Yep. Arlington, but
Arlington, Ohio State hosting it. The Orange Bowl, which is held at Miami Stadium.
Yes.
Texas Tech the host. The Rose Bowl, which Indiana are hosting in Pasadena.
Yep.
And the Sugar Bowl, which is where is the Sugar Bowl? That is,
if you click on it, it'll say the stadium.
It's New Orleans, isn't it? And Georgia are hosting that. It will be at the Caesars Superdome.
Yeah.
And there's still way more after that. There are so many bowls.
But if we went through this whole thing, we'd be here for 2 hours.
I'm trying to see if I've missed any good ones.
Oh man!
You got the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yes.
Mississippi State versus Wake Forest, and the Holiday Bowl between SMU, which is Southern Methodist University, and Arizona.
I will say America may not do it necessarily better, but they do it different.
They do it very different. And speaking of doing it different, the final thing off the list today, the final segment of the year, and obviously had to be pro wrestling. The greatest wrestler of all time, in my opinion, John Cena, retired on the weekend against Gunther at Saturday night's main event. A great card in general. You had Cody Rhodes taking on Obafemi. You had Sol Ruka getting the win over Bayley. And then you had the youngsters. You had the bouncy Javon Evans and TNA X Division champion Leon Slater taking on the current WWE Tag Champs in AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Great team.
Yes,
great pairing.
team.
But
Great two teams there.
John Cena, Gunther, a great match in general. Cena hit all his moves. Gunther wrestled how he usually wrestles, just trying to submit the life out of people, being a big, meaty Austrian man. But it was quite funny to see. So Cena didn't give up the whole fight, broke out of so many sleeper holds, was almost going to get there, but he just simply smiled and tapped out at the end to call it a day. People were not happy. People were booing the shit out of Triple H as the booker. They were booing it. They weren't booing John. They were booing the finish.
But that's you were right. Like, and this is a question I was going to ask for this. Did John Cena have the right way out? And in my opinion, yes.
I think
and Michael Cole put it perfectly afterwards. Professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it did. And you kind of needed it too, because if Gunther loses, you kind of loses credit a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and of course, big thing with
he
John.
he doesn't, because it is the GOAT,
That is true, but I think in terms of just story, it kind of does.
It does make it. Maybe yes, he could have maybe been a little bit more bloodied, at the end, and maybe have.
I kind of wish it was by pinfall rather than by submission,
but he doesn't. You don't give up in the pinfall. Almost, you give up when you tap out.
Yeah,
and obviously John Cena being never give up.
But I think with a pinfall, if you get the pinfall, you've put everything into it.
Gunther's obviously also he's a
like his finish is the sleeper hold.
He's a submission guy.
I do get it. He's going to be fantastic for the future anyway.
Oh, well, he was already booed out the building essentially on Raw today, from what I saw.
But look at the same time, I think it's and I'm a big John Cena guy. I'm a big wrestling guy. That's why.
Who isn't?
Exactly. But I'm trying to put it in the nicest way I can. When you have a retirement tour, which has never happened in WWE, if we think about it, it never happens, and you do it like this with somebody this loved, you're going to get that reaction.
You are.
I think Bookers knew it. I think Triple H knew it. But I personally think they did the right thing.
Yeah, because it's actually the right thing to do, and it's funny because all the AEW fans on Twitter were saying, "What do you mean they made the best call possible?" And they're booing them.
Yeah,
there's AEW fans who are like, "WWE did the right thing," not being like smartass. They did the right thing, and you're booing.
Yeah,
like it's quite funny. Getting all the AEW.
It's kind of hypocritical, I guess, a little bit. But.
Yeah, but it's funny because earlier, I think it was earlier this year or late last year, Sting retired, and he retired at AEW, and AEW fans were expecting him to lose. It was a tag match with Darby Allin. I don't know if he was facing the Bucks or he was facing someone else.
Yeah.
And it was great intro. They had his two sons come in.
Yeah, that was
as older versions of Sting, and then he came in his current getup. But he actually won that match, and AEW fans saw that as a surprise. It's like, oh, it's a surprise, he won. And you can have that in a retirement match if it works. But I think, unfortunately, it makes sense for a guy who is on his way out to end up losing.
Yeah, to pushing the guy that's on his way up.
Exactly. Gunther is going to be the biggest heel in the company for the foreseeable future.
Him and what's it called? Dom Mysterio. Heels for the future are sorted.
I don't know title picture how it works out for next year, because currently you've got Cody and CM Punk as champions. You've got Roman Reigns, who definitely wants a title. Yeah. Gunther needs to be in that world title scene, because give him proper opponents. Like, I don't want to discredit Jey Uso, but I think
now that Jey Uso is back with the Usos, I don't think you'll see him in that picture for a little bit.
I think you will, hopefully, if Gunther's world title again, you have guys like Drew. You have, to be fair, Punk beat him, before Seth took the title back, which was great.
Oh, and Seth Rollins comes back from injury. He's going to be in that conversation.
Exactly. And speaking of the vision, which Seth Rollins isn't a part of, it was revealed that Austin Theory was the masked man who attacked Punk at...
You were right, sir.
Me and a lot of people were right.
Yes.
Although they believe that when he appeared on Raw last week or the week before, it was actually Montez Ford in the get-up. So maybe it was Carmelo Hayes. So maybe there's more to it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
could this be the big push that Austin Theory really needs, though? Who has the talent but needs?
He's been injured.
He needs that Paul Heyman
and
backing.
now he's got a buzz cut or he's shaved. I don't know. But
He's got that Paul Heyman backing now.
If you're so upset with WWE, well, AEW World's End is at the end of December, so watch that instead.
You did say that. Yes,
Final of the
true.
Continental Classic. We're going to get a AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know if they call it World Heavyweight, but a World Championship match will be the current champion Samoa Joe defending against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. So that will be great. Great.
We'll see what happens, man.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, but like just to end it off on maybe a little bit more of a positive, as like just for me as I got into WWE, John Cena was that guy.
He was that guy.
I became a fan in the Super Cena era.
Oh yeah.
And although The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time, man, John Cena is up there. He did so much work for WWE. Was he always perfect? No, nobody is. But man, he deserved that retirement tour. And look, he'll probably come back and make appearances. Let's be real here.
He'll make appearances.
But he deserved this, man.
He deserved it, and he's gonna hopefully have a very successful rest of his career as an actor.
Yeah,
and just as a general celebrity, broke the mainstream. But yeah, congratulations, John. Birthday, buddy. We share the same birthday. Keep up the good work.
So you share this? I don't know. No, you shared the same birthday with.
He's an April 23rd.
With a John Cena.
April 23rd. John Cena, William Shakespeare, me. Great big freak.
My birthday, April the 3rd, is just a duo. Me and Eddie Murphy.
Hey.
Me and Donkey from Shrek.
Donkey's crack up though.
That's a very good point.
John Cena, John Cena, makes me think of all the Santino names as well.
Yeah.
I saw
Randy Orton, you son of my gun.
You son of my gun.
I love that he's involved in TNA, man.
He's the big guy. But on that bombshell,
John Cena, salute.
So never give up.
Thanks, brother.
You can't see me and all the other hustle, loyalty, respect. And
man.
That's it for 2025.
That is it for 2025, man. We did this, man. We should be bloody proud of ourselves.
Well, we are going to go to Nando's after this.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
This guy's he goes to Nando's most times after. He's always pushing me to go. But
come on, Dylan. I'll pay for you. Come on.
99 times out of 100, I don't.
No.
But for the last one, I'm gonna go to Nando's.
I think I took you for your birthday.
Yeah, you did.
But no, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk shit.
Yeah, man. Probably talk about sport again because we can't get enough of it.
No, we can't clearly. But thank you, Dylan, for hosting us every single recording this year. 39 of them here, one at your missus's place.
Yeah, true.
So, but we will be back here next year, probably same shit. Maybe we spice it up next year. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll probably be back. Let's call it mid to late Jan.
Mid to late Jan,
probably somewhere along those lines.
Probably around, maybe not on the 12th, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
probably a little bit later.
maybe later than that. Depends how bored I am.
But let's say this. Look, we've earned a well-deserved break.
Oh, we have.
You have earned an off-season break as well, and if you are working through it, I do hope you get somewhat of a break.
And I'm sure
because you deserve it too.
And I'm sure if Dylan and I have something we really want to share, we'll put it on the Instagram, so you'll see it there anyway.
Yeah, big facts.
You'll just see me ranting for 5 minutes about something no one cares about.
Yeah, well, this is what we do most of the time anyway.
That's true. Wow.
But yeah, thank you so much for this year. It's been awesome to actually see some engagement in.
Yeah.
This is a process. It is a grind, and it's awesome to see people engaging. That's outside of like our friends and family.
As Sam Hinkie once said, trust the process.
Trust the process, man. But Simon, thank you not only for this, but for this year. It's been awesome to see you commit to this with me.
It's been awesome to see you commit to this as
man.
well. And I think it makes sense for you to do the honors and sign us out as you came up with this. And you were the guy who did it.
Well, before we do that, go and follow us on all our socials at CouchSide.network on TikTok and Insta. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and go to Spotify. Follow us. If you're on Spotify, follow us and then go to YouTube and subscribe. And with that being said, Simon, thank you very much.
Dylan, thank you for having me.
And as we do, until January next year, CouchSide out.
CouchSide out. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year! Woo! Give me Nando's!